Streaming live, this is News Nation Now.
Good morning. Welcome to News Nation Now. I'm Jisoo Yi. If you are waking up to snow and severe weather, we hope you're staying safe and warm, and stay tuned to our website throughout the day for coverage on that weather. It's the first day of February. Can you believe it? January's already come and gone, but with the first day of January starts Black History Month, and all February long, News Nation's going to be honoring Black history with feature stories on our website and also on our broadcast. And every Monday, we're going to be featuring someone you should know here in the country that's doing good work. And we're going to start with Jamal Cole. He's the founder and CEO of Chicago's fastest growing social impact organization. It's called My Block, My Hood, My City. Welcome, Jamal.
Thank you for having me. How you doing today?
So fantastic. And I should say Happy New Year because I haven't seen you this year yet. But thank you so much for joining us. Of course, here in Chicago, folks are very familiar with you, but we're introducing you nationwide today. So if you can just explain a little bit about the organization.
Yeah, so it's called My Block, My Hood, My City. We're like the Red Cross for the neighborhood. So, our mission is to take care of people no matter what. If it's a snowstorm, you see us out there shoveling snow for seniors. If it's a heat wave, we'll deliver water, deliver fans to seniors. Throughout this pandemic, we've served over 12,000 seniors in 8 different states with PPE, food, connecting them to primary healthcare physicians, contact tracing, stuff like that. And then when businesses were looted throughout the summer, we raised $1 million for small businesses that needed help with painting, glass repair, stuff. So if a meteor hit Chicago tomorrow, we'd be out there picking up meteor dust. We take care of people no matter what.
And you certainly do take care of people, and that was a lot that you just listed there. We're going to break some of that down in a little bit. But first of all, you started this organization back in 2014. And what was your original mission when you started? I'm sure you never imagined that it would get and grow to be this big.
Yeah, I just worked with a lot of teenagers at Cook County Jail, and the teenagers had never been downtown. They had never seen Lake Michigan. They had never waved for a taxi. Their whole worldview was shaped by the infrastructure of their neighborhood. So, if there's 15 currency exchanges in your neighborhood and no banks, and you ask a kid, what's a job at a bank? Because I've never been to one. So originally, I just wanted to take teenagers on educational field trips and expose them to different cultures, professions, and cuisines and volunteer in different places. So that's kind of how it started.
So many people that give back are usually inspired by something that happened to them in their life. And Jamal, let's talk a little bit about you to give people some background on you. I mean, you've had some ups and downs. You grew up in a suburb outside of Chicago here. Tell us a little bit about your life. I mean, you ended up working in corporate America as well. So give us the fast forward version.
Yeah, I was living in homeless shelters, man, eating Thanksgiving dinner at homeless shelters. I didn't know what volunteers were. And I remember being embarrassed that my classmates would be volunteering and passing out turkeys on. And my dad would say, don't be embarrassed, go get your food. So, I lived in a motel, lived in the back of a U-Haul truck, but I persevered and I stayed diligent to get to college. And once I graduated, I moved to Chicago on the South Side because I wanted to tell kids, hey, disappointments ain't reserved for you on 79th Street. It rains on people in the suburbs too. And I'm a perfect example of that. So instead of making excuses, what's something simple you can do to make a difference on your block? And so I just carry that message of inspiration and hope everywhere I go.
Well, you overcame so much just in your personal life. I mean, what do you attribute to your ability to overcome such difficult situations?
Just setting goals. Goals, they create a force field around you. And they, if you are specific about your goals, they pull you through even a pandemic, man. You have to don't just say I want a car. Like, what kind of rims you gonna have, man? What's the weather gonna look like that day? What music, like when you write specifically your goals down, the universe pulls you to it. And then finally just doing what you love, you organically start building relationships with people that'll help you be successful. So that's what I live by: goal setting and making sure you're doing what you love.
So Jamal, from points of experiencing homelessness in your youth, you were able to find a way to go to college, you got your degree, you moved to Chicago, and then somehow you managed to get a job in corporate America. That took a lot of tenacity.
Yeah, I'm a published author, but I self-published some books and I sold them downtown in front of Foot Locker. But hey, man, you can't buy a $200 pair of Jordans and not buy a $10 motivational book, right? And so someone from the trading firm read the book and said, hey, can I put you in school for Microsoft engineering? They put me in school and I worked at the trading firm for about 4 years and I learned all about operating systems. And when kids would get out of jail, I'd bring them to the trading firm to show them how easy it was to build these systems. And that's kind of how I started my Explorers program of bringing kids downtown and kids that, getting them on elevators and taking them to marketing firms, started from working at that trading firm.
So at that point, Jamal, you'd made it. I mean, you'd overcome a lot. You had made it. You're working downtown. You're working at a trading firm. You're in finance. What made you give that life up to then engage in a life of service?
It's because that's all my heroes did growing up, like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael, Fred Hampton. The list goes on and on. But they set Barack Obama right. They sacrificed themselves for the greater good, and that's what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be a leader since I was 4, and giving my preschool graduation speech. So it was pretty. I would do it again. Like, honestly, it costs a lot of money to take kids. Like, kids in Chicago. Chicago wasn't designed. It's not designed to be inspired. Everybody can't be inspired in Chicago. So I wanted kids to see inspiration in their blocks instead of helicopter lights. And I just put my money up to do it, because people help you when you're helping yourself. You can't just say, give me this, give me that. Let me put my own money up, put my own house up. And that's how I was able to get people to support.
Well, Jamal, I think we need to do a little bit of a better job of explaining what Chicago's like in different parts of the city. For people that are watching that aren't familiar with Chicago. And what do you mean? Let's talk about that disparity there.
Yeah, I mean, again, every billboard in my neighborhood says cheap divorces and $6,000 tax advances, right? Kids grow up having to order their breakfast through bulletproof glass windows. Hey, I want the Doritos. No, not the spicy nacho, the Cool Ranch, right? You have to take your belt off and your shoes off to walk through a metal detector to get to school. German shepherds sniff you on a train in the morning, right? There's the funeral homes are marketing Louis Vuitton caskets in the window, right? There's more technology in the light poles in the classrooms. You don't have the internet. You got to go to McDonald's to use the Wi-Fi. Like, these are very divested community areas. You can't be inspired in neighborhoods like that. That's not inspirational. And so we have to. If you show kids better, they can do better. But if they don't know any better, unfortunately, that's all. They have. This is what they're gonna be try to be like the rappers and the basketball players and the dope boys that they see, because that's all. They don't see success in different forms. Because this is all, and it's not their fault. It's Chicago's fault that we aren't bringing resources to their neighborhood.
And I love that you spoke a little bit more to that about how so many kids that are in Chicago maybe have never even visited parts of the city that are outside of their neighborhood. Something else that your organization has evolved to do, of course, there's a lot of inclement weather happening right now all over the country, but here in Chicago, we experience our share of snow, and we're watching video right now. Can you tell us about the snow shoveling that you guys do?
It's just, what's something simple you can do to make a positive impact in your block. You don't have to have a master's degree to shovel snow, right? You don't have to have a law degree to get a broom or a dustpan and help out your neighbor. This just creates a ripple of hope on your block. If you shovel for your neighbor on your block, I shovel for my neighbor on my block, she shovels for her neighbor on her block. That's a ripple of hope, but that's a wave of change. And so this is just a really good way to. How do I get involved, Jamal? What's going on? I want to help. I don't know how. Go grab a shovel and get involved, because you're going to meet somebody in your block, and the more connected you guys are, the safer you are, the healthier you are, and the happier you are overall.
And the video that we're playing right now, it shows all sorts of people, all ages, all different backgrounds, including police officers. So let's talk a little bit about the range of volunteers that you have.
Yeah, I mean, so Chicago is like one of the most segregated cities in the country, right? The distinction between the black and brown neighborhoods is so visible, and that's created these diverging or these separate community areas. That racial division is important, not only because it signifies a lack of cultural integration, but segregation has created socioeconomic isolation and exclusion, in which black and brown people have higher vulnerability to poverty and crime. So, and we're connected by values, though. So I don't care what color, gender, religion, opinion, ethnicity, occupation, whatever, man. When it's cold outside, y'all gonna come together and shovel this snow, and we need to celebrate our diversity as a city. So my block, my hood, my city is all about breaking down that segregation and making Chicago the most interconnected city in the world. And we do that by bringing people on different blocks and immersing them in different neighborhoods.
And of course, with 2020 and the pandemic, you also had to shift again in terms of what your organization provided folks in need.
Yeah, that's what we're pivoting, like Michael Jordan in the finals. Like, that's what I love about having a social impact organization. Like, we don't have programs per se. We create initiatives based upon whatever happens in society. So as an organization, our best asset is our agility. So yeah, when the pandemic struck, we there was a lot of youth out of work, and there was a lot of seniors that needed help. We created an initiative called Youth Senior Connect. where we hired youth for 8 weeks, paid them $15 an hour to connect the seniors to primary healthcare physicians and do well-being calls. Like we would pivot again next week. Like we love the pivot. So we're the Red Cross for the neighborhoods. We're going to take care of people no matter what, and that's a broad mission, but we're up for the task.
Well, it's Black History Month. What sort of special programs and events do you have going on this month?
Yeah, we have a new scholarship fund, $100,000 scholarship fund
Wow.
coming out called I Got You Scholarship. And so it's for students from Chicago that, want to pursue their post-secondary education, and they might need help with getting to college. They might need help with books for college. They might need help with room and board, whatever you need help with. Kids are always calling me up, Jamal, I need this. I'm like, okay, I got you. Jamal, I need this, I got it. So we just started something called the I Got You scholarships. And so you can find more about that at our website, formyblog.org, or our Instagram page, My Block, My Hood, My City. But it's the I Got You
Well,
fund.
it's funny, I was talking to my executive producer today about just how many text messages you must get. So you started this organization in 2014, but I bet you still get text messages from people that need their driveway shoveled.
Everything, man. I got a text message from Roosevelt Vano this morning. Oh, Jamal, he's like 83rd in Michigan. I need somebody to come to my backyard. Oh, stop me at the gas station. Hey, can you talk to my son? Just text message him right now. That's what I love. I love that. What I love most about my life is God allows me to help people and inspire people. So keep on using me because God's got a battery in my back. So I love it.
Well, let me ask you a logistical question now, okay? Because you started in 2014, I'm sure, from money from your own pocket. But now you're a huge organization. I don't know if you want to divulge what your budget is and how many people work, maybe
Yeah.
full time for the organization. But how do you balance this now? Because you can't physically answer every text that you get now.
Yeah, we got a staff of 17 people, and it's a great staff. I get a lot of credit in the interviews, but I got people way smarter than me that work for My Block, My Hood, My City in youth development and community engagement. So we're a staff of 17. We have a budget of about $2 million a year, and that went, just 5 years ago, I was selling books on the streets, right? And so it is a lot of growth, but I've had to learn on the fly, and I had to. As a leader, you always don't know what to do. You just have to keep on asking questions to try your best to understand. You have to move forward when you're uncertain, and you can save 5 years by reading a book. So I would encourage anybody that wants to start a social impact organization, get a mentor, read, and hire people smarter than you, man. That's what you got to do.
Well, I love that you're sharing the credit with the folks that work with you, but you've got a lot of accolades. I mean, Chicagoan of the Year by Chicago Magazine in 2018, 25 Most Powerful Chicagoans by Crain's. You were named the 2020 American Red Cross Community Impact Hero. Is there an award that's the most meaningful for you?
Man, I want to start seeing my team members get awards. I think that'd be most meaningful for me because really, man, I want this organization to be around for 100 years. So it's not just giving Jamal awards. So I'm looking forward to people on my team, like my chief operating officer, our program managers, putting them up for awards. So I really couldn't do it without their help. That would mean a lot to me. Yeah.
So Jamal, let's say somebody is watching your interview right now from Alabama. Hi, Alabama. And they want to start an organization like this. Are you getting a lot of folks that are calling you saying, how do I do this? How did you start this?
Yeah, for sure. We want to definitely have chapters in different cities. So I would just email us info@mbmhmc.com. But most importantly, like what you need to do is like start. Like just start. Once you actually start doing something and stay away from people that are just maintaining. If you see what you doing, run. Don't be around nobody that's maintaining. Surround yourself with people that want to do positive things. But if you want to start a block club, man, if there's 16 houses on this side of the street and 19 houses on that side of the street, create a Facebook group for them, man, and keep them connected. If you want some help doing that, reach out to us at formyblog.org. We would love to help you organize your neighborhood.
And your message, because you have spoken so much here in the Chicago area about your impact, it's inclusive. It's for everybody. This is a call for everyone, no matter their background.
Yeah, it is, man. It's because we have to stop this Victorian English eugenics word of race is so prevalent in the 21st century. Like, who's profiting by creating these divisions amongst people? Who's profiting by pushing this? You have to ask yourself that. Like, it's time that we change our perspective. So, I don't want nobody in Chicago to say in 2025, I ain't never been downtown. That doesn't make any sense. Like, we need to stop doing that. We need to celebrate our diversity as a city and come together based upon our values, like Dr. King talked about, right? That's what we need to come together for. So.
Well, you mentioned that you are an author. You also have a documentary that you're the subject of that's coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the documentary is called A Tiny Ripple of Hope, and a whole crew followed me around for 5 years, and they saw me on the corner standing books. They saw what it was like when my home got foreclosed when I was trying to start a nonprofit. They saw me, selling, like just having nothing. I wanted to be vulnerable so it can leave a blueprint to the future activists of actually, you know, what you got to do, man. This is a faith walk, and the road is so narrow that you can't even turn around sometimes, man. So, I wanted to be uncomfortable on camera, and I wanted to show people that didn't have millions of dollars to give out to teenagers and block clubs. We didn't have nothing when we started out, but I had a North Star, and that North Star was a better Chicago, a more interconnected Chicago, and the only way I stayed focused was having faith.
Well, there's been so much suffering that we've all been witness to throughout this pandemic, even more than what, disenfranchised people are normally going through. What do you say to people that want to make a difference and want to do something but just don't know how to get started?
I would say, you know what, we all feel that way, and I would say just get started, man. Just you'd be surprised, like once um, if you plant spinach today, 6 weeks from now you're not going to get pumpkins. That's not how it works. If you plant spinach today, 6 weeks from ago you'll get spinach. So if you don't like the conditions of the spinach that comes up 6 weeks from now, you have to look at yourself and say, I can do a better job. So I would just say, the Bible says you're going to reap what you sow. You actually reap a lot more than what you sow. So just get started. Plant them seeds out there, man. Throw those hooks out there in the world and do more than expected, and that'll make an investment in your future. Just do more than it. All of our hoodies are stitched. When people get it, say, "Ooh, it's a little bit more than I expected." That's why people share it. Same thing with sit in the front of the class. Make sure you show up or do more than expected. Whatever you're trying to do, and that's how you make a positive investment in your future.
Well, I know you do a lot more than expected, and I don't know how you have enough hours in the day, so thank you for taking the time to talk with us. And Jamal, I know that you're always a resource for anyone, so no matter where you are in the country, if you want to reach out to Jamal, will you give your information one more time?
Yeah, our website is formyblock.org. All of our social media is My Block, My Hood, My City. Just ask yourself, what's something simple I can do to make a difference? And you can do that, man. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I know you're sore from all that shoveling yesterday.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm good.
Jamal Cole, he is the founder and CEO of My Block, My Hood, My City. Thank you, Jamal, so much for being with us. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. Y'all have a good day. Peace.
Well, he looks really good. He was working really hard yesterday. I know it. Okay, thank you so much for watching News Nation Now. I'm Ji Suki. Just want to remind you that this is the start of Black History Month. All February long, News Nation is going to be bringing you and honoring Black history with feature stories in our newscasts and also on our website. Also, a lot of bad weather that's happening out there right now, a lot of severe inclement weather. If you're waking up to it, please stay tuned to our website and our app as well. And of course, our newscasts, we're going to have full coverage for you. So thanks so much. Have a great day, everybody.